All right. I don't even know where the AS1100 is. I've got a shed, a storage locker. I've got this room here that I have to clean up. I've got that project to finish. Where is the AS? Maybe I can feel it. Can I feel it? Is that it? Oh, yeah. I can feel those knobs. Don't you love feeling knobs? All right. How am I going to... Jeez. I wonder what's on top of it. Oh, it's heavy, too. Where is the AS? There it is. Oh, this thing is a monster. How am I going to carry this? Oh my God, it's a monster. Now, I got this in my hand. How am I going to carry the phone? Hang on. Sit down there. Maybe I can carry the phone in my mouth. I don't have a chew bar on it. Here we go again. Oh, here we go. Now, turn the light off. Let's see if I can do it with my foot. I did it with my foot. See that? It's from years of martial arts. Okay. One flight. Two flights. It's on my napping bed. All right. We're keeping the DAC, but I don't need a preamp. AS1100. It's the second heaviest component I have. At least second heaviest, not counting speakers. Not counting. Are you still running? Hold on. Okay, knocking things over. I'll need that screwdriver. We are doing full range. Okay, we got the right channel with a stripe. Speaker A. Hold on, bear with me. Alright, left channel, got a stripe. This is old school, just copper. Got the old copper because these speakers, the 4-inch, still have the old binding posts. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Okay. You're popping out. I'm gonna have to hold you down there. Screw you in. Okay. Speakers now. I need the output from the DAC. And let's see, I'm running the right output as black. I think I'll go into the CD input. Okay. It's been a while since I fired this up. CD, balance, bass, treble. VU, speakers A. DAC is on. Shut this door. I do have a wife. I'm going to play something different. I'm not going to play Stereo Lab. But I need a test song right now. I think I'm going to play you some Disturbed. Okay, I just noticed that my phone was off, so at some point I must have hit stop. So what I was saying is I got a nasty gram from YouTube. In that very last video I made, they accused me of producing clickbait. I had no intention of producing clickbait. Whatever the hell that is. I think that's a bait and switch scheme. And I don't know what I was switching to. I was just complimenting some of my speakers and some music. So I had to read through the policies about clickbait. Had nothing to do with what I was doing. But I got accused of it. Just for speaking my mind. Okay. Let's find a song here. I'm going to go with something with fidelity. You can hear a voice. Something I like, though. I can't stand audiophile music. Or the stuff that people play at shows. Or when you go to a store. I just can't stand it. I want to pull my hair out. Well, what's left of it. I just got to play stuff that I kind of like. All right. I'm going to hit record. I'm going to clap. Hang on. Okay, that'll enable me to sync.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split my night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices
surface. JJ could do the floor kiss. Or was he on display? No, not today. All that guy ever said, he said, I want my little wing head. He didn't have to sleep at night. Over his head, sensation of flight. And he'd wake up dreaming. And he'd run down to the airport. The rush, the roar. And he crouched down behind the fence with a chest full of lights. Then lose his senses. Our little Johnny Jew, he's so cool. But if you see him looking lost, you ain't gotta come on so boss. If you know that he's paid, you know that he's paid the price. All you gotta do for that guy is wink your eye.
not the ultimate in high fidelity, but okay, not the ultimate in high fidelity, but that wasn't the point. I wanted to hear a song that was a live song and something that wasn't the ultimate in hi-fi, because that's mostly what I listen to. To see how it sounded through the full range.
A love born once must soon be born again. A spark burned then died, leaving cinders to be fanned by the wind and thrown to flame. Flames like tongues impassioned in a moment's burst. Tell me, friend, why do you stand aloof from your own heart? The truth confronts you. The truth confronts you as the sea crushing without detail, impassioned and detached, killing with love and power in God's name. Love conquers poses. Love smashes stances. Love crushes angles into black. So you, without question, know your first love is your last. And you will never, you will never, love again. I always wished to walk with her into restaurants. It's a clammy tale. To be seen beside her at the public bar footrail. I always wanted to be matched with her. Yet her beauty was so different to mine. My beauty needs an understanding and a knowledge of what I am. Hers is enough, earned through eons. For that is what true beauty is. Time's gift of perfect humility. May I be matched with you again? I know the match is bad, and God help me. May I be matched with you again? I know the match is bad, but God help me. May I be matched with you again? I know the match is bad. God help me. May I be matched with you again? Without your match, there is no flame.
Okay. Just a few somewhat random songs tonight. Not the best, of course, for analysis, but I'm just trying to figure out speaker placement, distance from the wall with different recordings. I'm trying to figure out how these full range sound with different quality of recordings, and I'm still trying to figure out their character. Yeah, they have a character. They definitely have a character. I'm okay with that. All speakers have a character. I just want a character that I like. I use the word organic a lot. I love full range drivers. I love not having crossovers anywhere. Of course, as I mentioned, it always comes with a trade-off. You know, can full range drivers, can they reproduce treble and upper treble with the absolute intricacy of a soft dome or metal dome? 1 inch, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch driver? No. No, I mean, we're talking physics here. So everything is a trade-off. But I really like them. And just giving you a few samples tonight. They still have to break in. You know, when you have, I'm not a big believer in break-in for some components. But when it comes to loudspeakers, especially ones like these, this corrugated treated fabric will loosen up over time. It will change the teal small parameters, such as, I mean, basically this is a spring. It's a spring, and it will loosen up and it will lower the resonant frequency over time. I don't think VAS will change much. You know, QTS might change just a tiny bit, but really the resonant frequency changes as a speaker breaks in FS. And as that changes, these will get deeper. And of course, this speaker is capable, this particular driver is capable of very low bass if in an extremely large cabinet. I'm not sure I want to do that. I just don't have, I mean, I'm struggling to carry these upstairs. And they're only about 2 feet, 2.5 feet tall. And the kind of cabinet I have to build to get these down to about 30 hertz. And right now they're about about 60, 61 hertz, according to my calculation. I have not measured them yet. They might be in the 50s, based on what I'm hearing. But you know, I don't know. I like them as more bookshelf. But we'll see. We'll see what's to come. The cabinet size for that these would need to get down to 30 hertz would be roughly the lower portion of the clipform right there. Colossal. I mean, I'd have to build them in place. Wouldn't be able to carry them up the stairs. Actually, the cabinet size would be roughly the size of probably the Cornwalls. Right there. A massive speaker. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, but more to come. I got the AS1100 out. I'm going to keep it for a while. And I've got to declutter this room. Unfortunately, the last thing I'll say is that, you know, my wife, Mrs. Police, is very, very clean. The house is immaculate. It's like being in a museum. Unfortunately, my lair here, my room, is like night at the museum. But she's okay with it, because this is my play space right here. And my drumming space and all the fun stuff that... Anyway, hope you enjoyed Stereo Police. More to come. I do want to take some impedance measurements the old school way. I mentioned last night or the night before, I don't have software. I don't want software. I don't want to get caught up. I'm beyond the point of being super nerd. I just don't want it. I mentioned in some previous videos about when I was most happy in my hi-fi experience journey. And that's when I knew the least and just could enjoy the equipment, enjoy the music. And as I got into engineering and started nitpicking and overanalyzing and analysis paralysis and all that stuff, suddenly the hobby became more and more miserable. Not miserable, I always liked it. Less satisfying. Always on the quest for something. Never satisfied. That's not the case anymore. I'm very satisfied with these speakers right here, these full range. Especially because I built them. And that's harkens back to the days when I grew up. We still had Heathkit around. And Lafayette Radio sold kits. And, you know, when I was a kid, and I mentioned this before, I used to just build things at random. I didn't know, I just built a box and threw some random drivers with a generic crossover in there. It didn't matter. And that's kind of like, I kind of enjoyed that, and I still kind of, I'm not exactly doing that now. I'm kind of halfway between Mr. Super Knit and laissez-faire, I don't care. Stereo Police, thanks for joining me tonight. Ciao. See you all real soon. Sorry I produced clickbait according to YouTube 2 nights ago. God only knows what that is. It's the last damn thing I have ever done. But somehow that video flagged somebody. I was pissed when I saw that. I was like, knee-jerk reaction. Screw you, I'm never making another video. Still pissed. Stereo Police. Ciao.